Hi, my name is Susie and I am the owner of the Speckled Loon. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome for the first time. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. At the time I am filming this, we are about to celebrate the New Year. So it's almost 2022. In fact, it is New Year's Eve here, and that means it's December 30th, 2021. So I want to wish you a happy 2022. By the time I upload this, it should be 2022. We're also filming from my home in North Dakota. Normally, I like to scoot outside and show you the snow. We are not going to do that today. It is too cold. It is, we're under a wind chill advisory, and let's face it, in North Dakota, we will be under a wind chill advisory probably till mid-April. But today, extreme wind chill. The temperature tonight is supposed to get down to 20 below, just the temperature. And then once the wind kicks in, Lord knows how low that's going to be. So we are going to stay inside in the office where it's warm and toasty. And we are going to be doing some crafting. We are going to make the projects in this little DIY kit. Here's a couple of them here on my little tiered tray. The kit we are doing tonight is going to be a Valentine DIY kit. I try to get my kits out early so that you can have them up and done and completed for the following holiday. And I'm going to try to do that throughout 2022. So you'll be at least a month ahead of time every time. A couple of housekeeping things that we're going to do. The link to order the little kit, which is a limited availability, is in the description box below. I only make them for a limited time, and then we're on to the next kit. And any paints that I use, glue, crafting tools, things like that, those links are down in the description box right below this video as well. And some of the links you'll see have a little asterisk by them. That just means if you use that link to order something, I get a little bit of a commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it gives me a little kickback, and that allows me to keep making videos for you. So if you would use one of those links to order anything, I thank you in advance. If you choose not to, no big deal. If you're just here for the crafting, that's great. So if you like this video, I would ask if you could give it a little thumbs up. If you are not subscribed already, I'd ask that you do subscribe and, use that little notification bell and put it to all so you get notified every time I upload a video. In 2022, I will be uploading a little bit more than in 2021 because I'll have a little more time to do that. If you have any questions, my email address is in the description box below, as well as where you can find me on social media like Facebook, Instagram, that type of thing. But without further ado, let's quit the chit chat and head on over to the craft room and get crafting with the Speckled Loon. We'll see you over there. When you get your kit, it's going to arrive in a box like this, and when you open it up, each project of the kit is going to be in its own bag to keep all the pieces from getting mixed up, so it'll be easier for you to complete. You can lay them all out like this, and I'm going to show you what everything comes in. And remember these 5 projects, it's a limited set. It's going to be available beginning in January 2022. I expect they'll sell out kind of quickly, but the first project is the Be Mine Circle 2-piece sign. Then we've got your Valentine Heart 2-piece sign. Each one of those comes with a little stand. We've got the gnome that has several parts, and he comes with a little stand. And when you want to purchase this, you can just click on the link in the description box. It'll take you right to it. Also comes with a little tag banner, and then it comes with the actual Kisses tag, a small tassel, and a group of beads, and we'll go over all those parts once we are making each individual piece. You're going to need a few supplies to complete your kit. I'm going to go through the most affordable options for you, and a lot of this stuff you probably have on hand, but you just need some chalk paint. If you don't have chalk paint and want to use the small little acrylic craft paints, that's fine, but the chalk paint goes on in fewer coats than the acrylic paint. The small little bottles are about $1.60 at Walmart. It's the Waverly brand. And these bigger ones, which is like what the steel gray and the crimson are in, they're an 8-ounce jar. They're about $6. And if you want this big size that I have for my white, that's like 10. But you can just get the small sizes. They work fine. If you don't want to use chalk paint, you can use spray paint as well. I like these two brands. The Rust-Oleum I get at Walmart or Menards, and the Krylon Chalky Finish I got at Michael's. Either one works fine. The spray paint is an easy option. I live in a cold climate. It doesn't work so great for me in the winter, but in the summer I do spray paint a lot of my pieces. For putting on the paint, you can use these little foam wedges. They're just makeup wedges from the Dollar Tree, or you can use these small foam brushes that you can get at any hardware store or craft store. You're going to want some Q-tips and some toothpicks, a pair of scissors. Glue from the Dollar Tree is fine. It's just any kind of super glue works best, and you'll need some tape for your string. And then you will want to have a package of baby wipes. If you're a mama, you got these on hand. If not, you can go ahead and get a small pack like this right at the Dollar Tree, and it's great for cleaning up edges of your pieces and your hands. Project number 1, the Valentine heart. So what we have on this is a 2-piece project. You have got the solid heart base and the frame overlay with the words Feb 14. And they are engineered to fit perfectly together. So they should all line up and be the same size. I use the Ballet Slipper pink paint with the brush on the base, and I use the white chalk paint with a makeup sponge on the overlay, the February 14th overlay. Now I'm going to show you how to paint everything on this project, and we're going to use the same technique on all our pieces, so I don't have to re-show you again 5 more times. You want to have a baby wipe on hand to clean things up, and you're just going to dab lightly your paintbrush in there and get the pink on. If you get any on the sides, you're just going to take that baby wipe and wipe it right off the sides. It just like the crisp look of the dark sides. If you want to paint the sides, you can, but since one side is pink and the other is white, there'll be a definite line there. To keep your paintbrushes wet during the projects, I just take some press and seal or saran wrap, or you could even wrap up that brush in a baby wipe. Now to do the white, you just take your makeup sponge, lightly dab that on. If you have a small art brush, you can use that too, but I just like the use of the makeup sponge. They're inexpensive, and if they dry out, I just throw them away. But I just lightly dab that all over. Again, I'm using that baby wipe to clean up the sides, and just continuing to do a light coat of the February 14. You probably, with the white, will have to do a second coat. You don't want to put it on so thick that you have globs, and you want to use Q-tips to just clean up any little areas inside those letters if they get globs of paint on them. Between coats, you might feel like your pieces are rough. So I like to use sandpaper, and so I just quickly sand and then do a wipe off with either a rag or just my hands to get all the dust off. And then I go ahead and apply my second coat. Here I again am using that Ballet Slipper pink. If you don't have pink, you could mix red and white together to get the pink that you want. And here for the white, again a quick sand and wipe it off. And then I'm using my white paint again with the makeup sponge to apply. Then what I'm doing here is I am taking a black marker and making a very light rim right around the top of this piece. And what that does, it ensures that no pink shows through when I put the two pieces together. So again, we have that black edge. This is totally optional. You don't have to do that. I'm then using the marker to just clean up that side of the white overlay as well if I had any spots on it. So to glue everything together, I'm using my Starbond glue. It's just a form of super glue. You can use whatever super glue you have on hand. And I'm doing small little dots all over and just quickly lining it up perfectly before that glue sets. And if I get any that oozes out, I just use a toothpick. And then this little sign comes with a stand, since it's hard to have that heart stand up on its own. So you just slide the two parts together, the top and the bottom notches, and then you have your completed February 14th heart. Isn't it adorable? On to project number 2. Project number 2 is our Be Mine round mini sign. Just like our previous project, we have got a backer and a detailed overlay. And for this project, I used red and white. Again, you can use whatever colors you want. I used the makeup sponge technique with the red on the overlay, and I used the brush method with the white paint on the round background. I am using my fine applicator tip on my Starbond glue. If you do not have a fine applicator tip for these small details, you can put a little bit of super glue on a toothpick and then transfer it to your project. This has a lot of fine lines, so you don't want the glue oozing out, so that's why I choose to get it on kind of in very small dots instead of big globs, and that does help. Now both the layers are the same size, so they will fit together without one being bigger or smaller than the other. You just press them together, kind of use the table as your guide, roll it around before it sets to make sure everything lines up, and it goes together pretty simply. You just press it again to do that and get it set. You can use a toothpick to clean up any glue that would ooze out. It just picks it up and kind of puts it back underneath and takes the excess off the sign, and then you have a nice lined up round edge. Now, just like the one before, since it is a round sign, you don't want it to roll all over, so you can go ahead and take your two-piece stand that comes with this little sign as well, and you slide those slots together and go ahead and put your round sign on that, and then your project 2 is complete. Again, feel free to use whatever colors you want. I like the pop of the red on the white, but your Be Mine sign is ready to roll. Project number 3 is our Valentine Gnome. This gnome has several parts, and what I used was the gray for the base of the gnome, the beard, and the shoes. I used red for the hat, heart, and body. You can use whatever color you want. I left the nose and hands unpainted. I didn't have any flesh colored paint, but if you wanted to do them with paint, you certainly could. I just left them bare. It was fine. He fits together like a little puzzle with the hat and the nose, beard, body, and shoes. And then you'll see on the little body part, those little half moon etched parts are for the little spacers for his hands. It elevates the hands up so they can hold that little heart. And then you got a bonus finish piece with your kit. I will show it at the end. So he has something else that can be interchanged and for him to hold. So once your gnome is all painted, it is time to put him together. And he goes together quite easily. The most difficult part is just lining up that hat, but he's got everything etched out where everything needs to be. I painted that base gray. The hat, you're just going to apply your glue and on the hearts and on the edges, and then you're going to quickly line it up on the top and make sure it lines up exactly, and then everything goes together very easily after that. I like to do the beard next. I do a couple lines of glue, make sure that lines up. I do a dab of glue and I press that nose in there. Same thing with a little glue on the body. Put it in, and then a dab in for each shoe. You want to make sure you get the correct shoe on the correct side, so that's why you do a dry fit and press those down. And then you've got the little half circle parts. You're going to put a dab of glue on each one of those, and then you're going to put your spacer on, those very small spacers. And once those are on, then you just need to do a dab on each spacer, and the very bottom curved part of the hand lines up exactly with that spacer, and you're going to get that little elevated hand to hold things. So now I'm going to do the first hand. Again, I'm just doing a dab of glue on each one, and I'm lining up that bottom of the hand exactly with the spacer on the first side, and you'll see where there's just that little elevated area that makes it very easy for it to hold on to things. You can see where that space is. And then I'm just repeating the process on the other side, pressing it down for a few seconds to get it good and held. The super glue and Star Bond glue really likes this material and bonds together very well with it. So there you can see both are elevated and it's ready to hold the heart. So we're going to lay him down, put the heart in, and then like I said, I have a bonus piece in the kit for you to have that's already finished, for him to have something else to hold on to as well. You'll see that at the end of the video. So he also comes with a little stand. There is this brace part. You're going to want to take the side that has more of an angle to it, more of a slant, if you will, and that is the part that's going to rest up against the gnome. You want to kind of line it up in the middle and then at the very bottom of the gnome, if that makes sense. And that's what he's going to rest up against. So in order to do that, there's this little slot bracket. You're going to take that little slot bracket and you're going to put that on the back and put the brace in it and just kind of do a dry fit. And then you want to lay him down, get that toward the middle, make sure the bracket's lined up with the very bottom so he isn't wobbly. And you're just going to take a little pen and make a mark where that little slot brace goes. And you're going to put a little glue on that slot brace, line it up with your pen mark, and let the glue dry, and then you're going to put your slot in, the brace in the slot, excuse me, and then he stands up perfectly. And then there you have your little gnome all ready to go. I'd like to thank you for sticking with us this far through all these projects. If you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We also are on social media. The Speckled Loon is on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. Feel free to click the links below to follow us. Also, if you would like to support our channel, you can also shop thespeckedloon.com. Just go over there, click shop, and you'll see everything that we have for sale, including whatever I'm currently offering for DIY kits. I usually have 1 or 2 kits up at a time, and you can shop them and give these projects a try if you would like to make something yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now back to the projects. It is time for project number 4, our tag banner. Your tag banner comes with 5 tags, and each one has a different design. 2 of them have X's, 2 of them have O's, and 1 has hearts. I painted the X's red, the O's pink, and I did all the tags in white, and I also did the heart in red. It also comes with 6 beads that will match your set and some string to string all the tags together. And to make the twine go easier through the tags, I just put a little piece of tape at the end of it. But basically you're just going to glue the X's, O's, and heart on each piece. You put a little bit of your glue on the bottom of each piece, each accent piece, and just put it in the center. You can glue them on straight, you could do them at an angle, whatever your preference, and of course you can paint them any colors that you want. These are just the colors I chose to use. Once everything's glued and the glue is set, then you're going to take a bead and then go down through the first hole, up through the second hole of each tag, and move it over to the right on the twine and space it evenly on your piece of twine. And I do a bead between each tag and then down through the first hole, up through the second. It just hangs better if you do it that way. And You can experiment with different ways, but that's how I like it to look. Once I have it all strung, then I like to make a loop at each end of the twine. So I make a slip knot, just like so, kind of half of a shoelace bow. And then what I do is I make a knot at the bottom of that loop to secure it, and then it doesn't move around. And then I repeat that process on the left hand side, and then when I am done making the loops, I go ahead and snip off the excess. And how I do this is I have a metal tiered tray that I might display this on, which has magnetic hooks, and then I can put the loop on each hook, and then it just hangs on my tray. You can also just tape it to your tray and kind of hide the tape, however you want to display your tag banner. Now we are going to go on to our final project. Okay, creative friends, we are on to our Kisses tag and Beaded Garland. Our final project. We're here. So you are going to get a pre-made tassel. In kits before, I've had you make the tassel. This time I made them for you and attached the string already. You're getting an assortment of painted and natural beads, and you get the word Kisses, the lips, the 25 cents, 2 little hole tags. One's going to go on the front, one's going to go on the back, and then of course the actual tag itself. And here's what I painted them in. I did Ballet Slipper Pink for the Kisses, red lips, and I did the steel gray for the 25 cents and the two hole covers. Words are hard today, friends. I'm getting through. And then I went ahead and did white on the tag base. You can do the front and the back, or just the front, however you want. I did use the brush method for the tag, and then I used the little makeup sponge method for the lips and the letters, the hole covers, and the word Kisses. Now it's time to glue everything together. Now some of the feedback I have gotten from you is you like the chunky letters and you like them connected. It's easier for you to work with, and I agree. You just have to glue on one piece instead of each individual letter. Once you have them glued down, you just press them. I like to do a little dry fit and see how everything goes. You can do things kittywampus and angled or straight. I'm doing the Kisses and 25 cents straight, and then I'm doing a little angle on the lips because I thought it looked more like if somebody had went in and kissed it. And then your little hole covers lined up exactly with the hole. You go and put them right over the front and the back, and these serve a purpose of kind of a cushion for when we have our string on there. It's just easier on the string so it doesn't cut on a sharp piece of wood. So once we have our tag done, then it's going to be time to string on our beads. You get an assortment of about 25 beads, 5 of each kind. You're going to get a natural, you're going to get a white, a pink, some gray, and some red. They may vary a little bit in color from this and in size, but you will get that amount in that similar color combination. What I do is I have a little piece of tape at the end of my string, and then I use a toothpick to push it through if it doesn't want to go through. And I just string them in the order that I have them laid out. And there is what one course of the pattern looks like. And now I'm just going to have them all strung on. And then the easy part, we just want to attach this to our tag. So what I do is I take that string, I have not cut it yet, I leave it its full length. I pull it all the way through the tag. I go from the bottom to the top, and I'm just kind of going to go slow on this part so you can see what I do. I go almost to the very first red bead there, and then I feed it through the bottom and the top again, and then I pull that tight. And that's just setting it so now we have a good place to tie a knot. So now what I do is I tie a double knot at this point, right at the base of the garland and tag where they meet. And it's kind of a thin string. It's two strings together, so that you've got the extra stability and thickness of 2 pieces of string, but you want to make a knot there just to secure it so it's not going to slip off and have your garland and the beads go all over. And then I still, after I make that knot, I do not cut it there. What I like to do is I like to feed it up through the first couple of beads there in my garland, and then I'm going to do another double knot, and then I'm going to hide, after I cut off the excess string, I am going to do another double knot, and then I'm right under this pink one, and I'm just going to hide the little extra piece, and you'll see what I mean here. I'm going slow so you can see I just feed it through, and I'm just making a knot with the string, and then make one more double knot. So this way you've got a nice secure garland that is going to look nice on your tray, and you don't have to worry about the beads coming loose, and you won't be seeing any raw edges of the string poking out. So now I'm going to pull this super tight, go get my scissors, clip it in there nice and close, and then I'm just going to tuck that little excess piece right under that bead, and it is ready to go. And there we have our final piece all done, our beaded garland, which makes a really nice accent piece for your Valentine DIY kit display. And now we are going to do our final reveal of everything all together and your surprise piece. Okay, time for our final reveal. We get to see all our projects put together, and then I'm going to put them on a tray for you so you can see how you could display them possibly. Had our gnome, our heart, our circle sign, our tag banner, and our bead garland. Again, I promised you a little surprise at the end. Your gnome does hold that heart. I have included a little chocolate kiss cutout with the words hugs and kisses engraved. This is already painted and ready for you to use, and so you can change in and out what your gnome holds. You could also put little notes in there, however you want to display him, but he's got some interchangeable pieces now to get a little more use out of him, and I think he's so cute. And everything looks really great together. We're going to put it here on my little tray and show you how that works. And again, if you're interested in this kit, it's limited release. Go ahead and click the description box below, and there's also all your resources and links of our products are below as well. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to let the music roll and let you enjoy looking at our final project. Thanks, and don't forget to look for the loon.